just because I moved to the farm, we don't know how to have fun, huh? Well, let me tell you, farmer girls know how to have a good time just as much as any New Yorker I've ever seen. And I don't mean just hanging out with our chickens and sheep and donkeys out here, as much fun as that is. I'm talking getting in the car and driving over to Greece for dinner. I mean, huh? Who gets to do that? I've never seen anyone in New York say they've been able to do that. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lori and I moved from New York City to a small farm in Bulgaria. And we are so close to the border of Greece and Turkey that, yeah, we can just jump into the car and even drive over to Istanbul for the day and be able to come back by the evening. It's a huge blessing. Sometimes I find myself missing New York, but how many people can say they've dined with a little Greek cockatiel in a little Greek village? And what I love about it the most is this is not some sort of attraction to get your money or anything like that. This is the cockatiel that belongs to the owner who came out to have a drink with us. I mean, how much more authentic than this can you get? I feel like nowadays we're all looking for authentic experiences, and I'm not sure you can beat this. We're in some lost little Greek village, somewhere God knows where on the map, having some of the best seafood I think I've ever had, and hanging out with a parakeet and the owner. And might I mention, pretty much everything on the menu is 10 euros. Insane. So, what are you waiting for? Come join us. We're so close to Greece that we decided to stop for a quick dinner. You know, casual. Dinner in Greece. You know, casual. Welcome to Greece, everyone. You have officially stepped foot into the little Greek village. And I'm going to do a little bit of voiceovering here because the first thing that happened was we were greeted at the door in, I don't know how many languages, in Bulgarian, in Greek, and it just got so loud that you're not going to even be able to hear what I've been saying. But take a look at this. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's just real. This is where your local villagers, Greek villagers and Bulgarian from neighboring villages and farms go to unwind and just have a good time. Oh, and drink. So here we are in the little Greek restaurant in the little Greek village with the old stove. Here's the menu. And you'll see now. I want to show you the fish. There we are. I mean, look at all these, we call them morski daruve, ocean treasures. Did you guys see the octopus there for 10 euros? Those fish you see at the bottom are barbuni. We have them fried. I hadn't had them before this, actually. It's really good. I'm not going to dwell too long on the menu because there's just so much, but I think you guys are getting a pretty good idea of what's going on here. He's selling fruits. Instead of roses, fruits. People are buying them. Let's get back to some voiceovering because, as you guys can see, it's packed. It's loud. You wouldn't believe it in a small village. Instead of selling flowers, this guy was selling fruits. You don't really see that in New York. Maybe some of you have, but I haven't. What I'm showing you here is that old stove because, believe it or not, that's literally the only way we're keeping warm in here. And we have a very similar stove at our house, which is right here, you guys can see. But most people on my farm have these old stoves combined as cooking stoves and heating stoves, just like you see here in this example. And the reason for this is wood is very expensive. So to keep yourself warm, you put the wood in there. And at the same time, you can use that heat to cook. On the top, you see this stove has the ability to put some pots. Right here, we're actually making kidneys directly on the jar or the, again, how do you call it in English? I honestly can't believe how much I blank on English words now. But anyway, on top of the hot wood, it's not coal. We do not put coal and we're going to cook on it. We just wait until the wood gets so hot it breaks down, and then you can safely put your food, well, at least in this case, some of our meats directly on top. And then you just brush off the jar and it's good to eat. Not only good, but delicious. Now let's go back to Greece. First thing that we got on the table were these fresh handmade homemade breads. I mean, they have a bunch of spices on top. I think there was chubritsa, but I could be wrong. Any Greek people out there, please forgive me if it's not correct. That's what we put on bread. And the next course, we got some octopus. Tell me this doesn't match any Michelin star restaurant you've seen. We've got some fried calamari and these little fried fishes, which when I translated, it said gavrus, but essentially just think of it as European anchovies. And I know a lot of you guys must be thinking, anchovies. But trust me, guys, this has nothing to do with those little tinned anchovies that you get in the cans. These are absolutely delicious. They're very traditional to Greece. They're best served fried, and you just eat them whole like that. Vai calamari. For all my fellow Bulgarians out there, you probably heard one of us yell pasta rakia. So rakia is our national alcohol. That's just what we do. We feast, eat, and drink rakia. This is how we party out here on the farm. Except today, Greek farm style. So this was a big treat because we don't really have this as much in Bulgaria. Definitely not on the farm. We really eat lamb, chicken, salads, vegetables. Here you have a stuffed calamar, or I guess squid in English. It's stuffed with cheese. So we're going to have an argument here whether it's Greek cheese or Bulgarian cheese, but let's just call it the equivalent of feta cheese. It was a very interesting mix. I'm going to say that. Here we're having our Greek beer, which was really good. I really liked it. We also had a Greek version of rakia. They also had Bulgarian rakia. I guess they were used to having so many Bulgarians, but this beer was great. If you ever go to Greece, try this. And now this was so amazing to me because this huge plate of dessert is homemade by the wife of the owner, and he actually just brought that to us for free. And here's the man himself. He was the nicest, and there he is with his little bird. He asked us if we wouldn't mind having the bird around. We're like, oh no, of course not. Look at this little guy. So he just loved to eat the salt. He would run around the restaurant, fly around the restaurant, land on people's shoulders. And it was just a very authentic experience because you could see that everyone knew him and was okay with everything that was happening. Not only okay, they loved it. There was just a huge sense of community, which is what I love most about living on the farm. Here we're driving through Greece again. This is not the same day. Don't worry, we didn't go home the next morning at like 10 a.m., even though we did do that once, but a couple times. But this is from another day. I just wanted to show you what a typical Greek village looks like because I think we're all used to the Mykonos and the Santorini when you think about Greece. So yeah, this is probably the picture that comes to mind when you think about Greece. Here we are with my family, my mom, my sister, who I miss so much. We were in Greece last year, so here she is, my little sister. That's really what I miss most about America, is not being with my mom and my sister, and but I guess hopefully things will change with time. Anyway, so here is Greece again, and I wanted to show you how it's so close to Bulgaria, but it is very different looking. Those of you who know Bulgaria, you can probably feel how the vibe itself is just different. We have a different style of houses. So we have these roofs that you see here. You've probably noticed them on my farm. For those of you who've watched my other videos, we're actually pretty famous for these type of roofs. They're made out of big slabs of stone, and it's what I pride myself most off on the farm, to be very honest. This is not from our farm itself, this picture. This is from another village in Bulgaria, but I wanted to give you an idea of the roofs, and you could see them really well here. Ours are exactly the same. So now this is on the farm, my farm. Again, those of you who have seen my videos, you've probably seen this house. This is one of the pride and joys of our village. It used to belong to one of the wealthiest people in the village, and you can't see the roof too well, but it's the same style, big slabs of stone. Here I'm trying to show you a little bit better there. So you can see in Greece, we actually didn't see any of these types of roofs. We saw a lot of, well, they were all just the red roofs, and I think they're actually known for having those red roofs. But if any Greeks out there disagree with me, let me know. Maybe I just don't know. Maybe you guys have villages with these roofs as well. But it's just something that I noticed that is different than in our village, despite the fact that we're only about half an hour to 45 minutes away from Greece. And another thing that I noticed that was really different in Greece that I've never seen in Bulgaria is Greece was covered in all of this little white stuff on the side. At first I was like, what is this? Is this garbage? What is this? And then I realized it's cotton. So I don't know if you guys know, but apparently Greece is a big producer of cotton. Out of all my years living in Bulgaria, or coming over the summers and now permanently living here, I've never seen cotton like this on the side of the road. Maybe we do have it and I just don't know somehow, but I really think I would have noticed a bunch of white stuff on the side of the roads. It's just really interesting that we're so close to each other and yet we have different terrains and landscapes. And here I wanted to show you a little sneak peek of another restaurant that we go to. This one is in Bulgaria, But again, farmer girls do know how to have fun. I was worried about that when I moved here, thinking that I'm coming from New York, it's going to be so boring. But no, it's just a different style. Now, instead of having everything all shiny and new, I feel like I'm a Viking. I guess Trajan would be more appropriate. It's just a whole new world that I don't think I would have ever seen in America. So I hope it's interesting to you guys. Thanks again so much for watching, and I sincerely hope to see you guys in my next video as we continue this journey in my new farm life.